Hi there, my name is Marius, and the point we explore today is being okay with being mysterious and saying no. The reason I'm recording this video is because I believe that every man should have some boundaries and a high degree of self-respect, especially in the family relationships with their friends and also their business or their work. Let's jump on part number 1, which is attitude towards others. At this point, you want to check your character because your attitude stems from your character. In a way, you want to be mysterious, but it's more important to have a good attitude towards others because respect is a two-way bridge. You want to have others respect you, but first be the one who respects. And so here's how to have a good attitude towards others. And we jump on point number 1, being self-reliance. Now you might wonder what self-reliance has to do with my attitude towards others. But listen, if you rely on yourself, you can allow to take many shapes. You can allow to have backup plans, to have a strong, fortified mental and financial position, and from that position, you can have a certain attitude towards others. You're not easily controllable. You decide how can you be respected, how you respect others, and so many more. So I think self-reliance is what gives birth to this attitude towards others. Because if you don't have self-reliance, in a way, the dynamic changes. Your attitude towards others will be within the self-reliance level. Don't forget that. This is how I see it. It could be wrong, but this is my experience. So you'll have to rely on yourself when you're dealing with other people. Being self-reliant is very crucial you understand this. Rely on yourself more, especially on your opinions and being okay with people saying no to you, which we're going to talk in a minute. Number 2, treat people with respect and understanding. In your attitude towards others, treating people with respect and understanding should be the top of your priority, regardless of what happens around you or what happens with those people and you being involved with those people. So treat people with respect and understanding. You do this regardless of your status, regardless of how you dress, regardless of everything. Because there is a certain invisible exchange when you are the one to offer respect and understanding. There's an invisible exchange. Count on it. It's not spoken, it's not being taught in schools, it's there and it's subtle. Not many people can pick up on it, right? It has to do with favors, but it's far more than that. So be the one to offer respect and understanding. There is a limit here to how much respect you can give to somebody. If you see it's not being returned to the same amount and degree, then you will have to set up higher boundaries with that person or those individuals. But you see how crazy this is? The more you treat people with respect and understanding, the more they tend to treat you bad. But there is an underlying dynamic here. You will need to consider the dynamic because the way I see it, deep inside you, there is a system, a belief or a condition or a wanted situation where you're being put to the test, right? So your psyche wants to heal and bypass this resistance. And if you're in a situation where you treat people with respect and you encounter some resistance when they try to give it back to you, I mean, you expect them to respect you and they don't do it. Instead, they make fun of you or something. And that's a lesson for your psyche and it wants to go over it. In the pursuit of trying to understand and assimilate the lesson, it will seek to be disrespected. It's not about you, it's about your psyche, basically. Your psyche wants to be disrespected to finally get the hang of the thing and finally go over. And the way you pass this test is to simply stop resisting it when it happens. What you need to do is to act as a different individual. When somebody makes fun of you, you will need to employ a state in your body where everything is in cooperation mode. The underlying frame and dynamic you will need to achieve in order for you not to resist the seemingly joking or passive-aggressive behavior is to consider everything a cooperation frame. This is the only way you will never be touched by disrespect. Somebody makes fun of you, admit it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I fucked up. I'm bad. Yes, I'm worse. And they will have no more ammo to fight with you. That's it. You've depleted everything. They can throw at you everything. Now you have the mental mindset of everything being in your favor and being cooperative. And so this is also part of being self-reliant, not being touched too much about what other people say, as you will see in a minute why is that important and how to do it properly, okay? You'll have to treat people with respect and understanding, and now you know how to walk on that two-way bridge. But if somebody doesn't simply can't respect you, just walk away, man. There is always a way. Just walk away. If they can't change, they're simply not mature enough. Number 3, take on their perspective and points of view. You'll have to see the world as they do. You'll have to see through their eyes. Understand their pains, understand their situation, and understand the level at which they perceive that seemingly unsurmountable situation. You'll need to understand the level they perceive the obstacles from their position, at the current level of awareness, at the current, and you do this when you kind of become a mentor for somebody or a coach, and you try to get them out of something, from a difficult situation with a business or a problem. So take on their perspective, their point of view. See what they feel, see how they see the world, and really step in their shoes. What would you do? Ask yourself questions. If you start understanding the power of asking good questions when you step in their shoes, then you can find a solution for their problem with your brain, which is very powerful. Not many people do it, it's fine, but you will need to have this in your arsenal when you're dealing with other people. And lastly, when you do this, when you did all of these 3 and you have them on point, this is basically leadership. We jump on point number 4, which is don't judge or instruct anyone unless asked. This is how you develop a lot of charisma. People will start naturally to gravitate towards you, and they will start to come up with various tests to see what's your limit in not judging. But your only limit in not judging, let's say, is when you show your true biases, your likes and dislikes. That's when you can be judgmental about yourself. And you can do that only when you open yourself in front of them. And they can judge, but you clearly don't care about their judgment because you're already formed. You have your own belief system, and it's hard for you unless it's proven wrong or the way you do things can be done differently to adopt a different point of view or a different value system than you have. So you can't judge people. You want people to open up to you. And remember, the human psyche is crazy. It's got all kinds of combinations of how a person can evolve and understand the world. So you can never judge their perspective or how they see the world, but rather try to understand where they come from. Because if it makes sense in their world, it might make sense for you when you step in their shoes, which was the point number 3, take on their perspective and point of view. So please understand, judging is very powerful. Let's say, if you judge a woman for her fantasies, you've lost. You must be opened to all kinds of crazy stuff, So take that as an advice. You'll have to be open-minded, turn yourself off, turn that judgment filter off when you see other people explaining, But make sure they don't. There is a small warning here you need to know about. People will come up to you and test you to see how you judge them, and you will not know to differentiate. But your best option would be still not to judge. Just adopt a neutral stance. When you're asked to take sides, if possible, don't take any side. But if you have to take any side, just take the one that feels good. Okay, so go with what feels good inside of you. As simple as that. Don't give too many reasons. This is part of being mysterious. And simply say no when you have to say no, when you don't want. And this represents your foundation, your attitude towards others. But your foundation sits on something even harder, as you will see. Part number 2, how to say no. At this point, I like to keep it simple. How to say no. There is 2 ways. You either go around saying no and you reach sweetly at the point, or you're being direct. To be direct, you'll need to have status, money, power, authority. To go around is when you're dealing with sensible situations. So the way you do it is according to what the situation needs. But I highly suggest you be direct. It depends on the context, of course. If you want to sell, if you want to please people, you go the sweet way. If you want a shorter time, faster results, you go direct way. Direct way often means truth, talking things in the open. Therefore, how to say no. Number 1, be detached emotionally. You need to understand that you'll have to take a no on purpose, which is the training I'm going to ask you to take. And the training is ask for stuff, keep asking, and expect no. Push your boundaries with people around you. Ask for stuff. Keep asking for stuff jokingly and expect saying no. Expect the people to say no to you. That's the best way to take a no detached emotionally from A to Z. Mind you, this is a solid foundation in sales. Just simply ask and expect no, so it can be detached emotionally. And remember, you miss half of the sales you don't ask for. But considering this is training for you, just simply expect no, your stuff will improve. Obviously, there is a high margin you will improve emotionally detached from people saying no to you, from people adopting a different course than you expected, from the people you lead. They all have the chance to choose a different path than yours. So expect no, but expect it emotionally detached. In life is only business. So my way is being direct. If you have a soft approach to this, then if that works perfectly fine, it's up to you. Number 2, have a good foundation. Saying no directly with no reason. Saying no directly with no reason requires you to have the foundation on point. You'll need to check all the boxes, treating people with respect, being self-reliant, taking on their perspective, and you still have the right to say no with no reason. But as simple as that. And here I want you to understand that people would rather like to be lied to than to know the truth. This is human nature. This is real. People would often like to be lied to than to be told the truth. So you reserve the right to say no without reason. At this point, saying no directly with no reason must not be done with people you depend upon. Number 3, no, because I feel like it. You know, when you say a no, people will simply like a logical response for your no. And they would like to know the reason behind it. Why did you choose to say no? Why is that? Why is that? And there are times where you will have to come up with a valid, logical reason for why you say no. But remind them about this feeling mind. You just simply feel when things are not right and you yet don't know yet why consciously. And so you'll give them this answer. No, simply because I feel like it. They will understand it because it's something they've forgotten. Because they live too much with their left brain hemisphere. It's here. You know, they are way too logical. They expect everything to work according to logic. But when you say no, it can be done from a feeling foundation. And they will understand it. It's way easier for them after that. And way easier for you, because if there is something you simply don't feel like it, you don't have to find the logical reasons. You know, your intuition can speak to you and you don't need a logical reason for that, period. Point number 4, planning in advance. If this, then that. At this point, if a request doesn't meet certain criteria, you simply say no. You have clear boundaries beforehand, not after. And you do this because you don't want to be hesitant in the moment. You don't want to overthink stuff. You already know your way. You foreseen in a way. It's a pre-planned filter that ensures consistency. If this, then that, right? So this planning I'm talking about also works for positive stuff. If something meets your criteria or your objective or is in your way of ensuring you achieving that goal, then you say yes automatically. But you will have to train your brain to see the possibilities as of what people can say or what plans they can come up with to you. Part number 3. Become a value creator. We have this part because you want to raise your status in order to have a solid foundation of being self-reliant in saying no to people, as simple as that. Social proof is given by your schedule on how much you post content, how reliable are you, how committed are you, and so many more aspects. You want to become a value creator because your content is your business card in today's world. It's weird I have to say it, but I will. Just like you go to the gym, people will judge and they will respect you based on how much and how often and what kind of quality of content you post on your socials. It's part of your discipline. It reflects your internal narrative. It reflects your goals. It reflects everything. So you want to become a value creator. It signals authority. And we have point number 1. Post content about what you do, what you like, and where you are. It's as simple as that. This is how you get to have a form of status for the strangers you're meeting and for the people who know you already. Posting content reflects discipline. Going to the gym, same. But the fact that you post content at the same time about the thing you like most is a direct reflection of how you see the world. If you treat these small things with respect, determination, showing up regardless of how you feel, showing up regardless of your results, people will treat you more. This in turn will give you the edge of being mysterious. That is, how do you get it done? And also the ability to say no to others. And even no to yourself at times is part of discipline. That's part of being self-reliant, saying no to some people and things and saying yes to other things and people. That's what posting content can reflect, subconsciously at least. and much more than that, but I'll let you guess what that is. Let me tell you a quick tip. When people see that you post content at the same time about the thing you like with so much discipline, when people see you going to the gym, when people see you work on your thing, they will believe intrinsically, automatically, because attraction is not a choice, that you will look after them, that you will take care of them, that you will treat them with the same level of discipline, attention to details, respect, and importance. They believe this. They really do. So post content, because it's more than it seems. Somebody clicks on your page and they see that every Monday you post. That's like the picture that's more than 1,000 words, So start posting content. It's going to impact you more than you can even see. Number 2, to become unique, you become selective first with your time, with your value, with your habits. If you want to be unique, believe me, it's easier than you think. Here's what you have to do. Here is the map. Become selective first with your time, with your values, with your habits. The time is where you spend your time, how you spend your time. Also, what media you consume, what you let into your subconscious mind, what kind of form content you consume, long form, short form, what kind of books do you listen to, what people's opinions you listen to, where do you take your advice, how you give advice, how is your foundation, is it in place, is it out of place, where do you need to work on yourself, your psyche, your body, your mind, your finances, what is it? Be selective with these things. This is how you create unicity. And I'm talking about being unique in report to what society tries to get out of you, a sheep, basically. And then become selective with your values. I highly suggest you read the book, The Values Factors by Joe DeMartini. Very good book. So values are basically what you operate on. From your values, everything else stems. Your beliefs, your behaviors, your actions, everything. Because if you want to change yourself, you'll have to change your values. And so what values are, they are your deep-seated principles by which you run your life. What do you see important in life? That's your values. Values shape your decisions, your priorities, and how you evaluate what's worth your time. For example, some people value autonomy, others value growth, family, or impact. So as soon as you see your values, it's like seeing a GPS for your decisions. Next, we have being selective with your habits. You need to be selective with your habits because they have one nasty, or it can be framed as positive and very sweet thing, and that is the compound effect at base as foundation. So your habits compound. If you simply roll a snowball down a mountain, it can create an avalanche. Your habits add up more than you think. Let me frame this properly. They add up because you repeat them, and the more you repeat them, the easier it is for them to stick. But remember, often they stem from your values. What you believe in, that's going to dictate your behavior. Your behavior makes up your habits, and your habits can become your vices, or they can lead you. You do a thing, and now the thing does you in a way. That's how powerful it is. So you'll need to keep an eye on your habits. If you want to employ good habits, start small. That's how you change big ones as well. You go one day less at that place. You do one less time that thing, and so on. And you replace the habits. Same. You do it one more time today. You go to the gym for like 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and so more, until you grow in that direction. Your brain will adapt. It will prune itself, the neuronal pathways, and it will create new ones. And this is how you become a new person, by monitoring your habits, by being selective with them. And as soon as you have not weird habits, but different habits, you become selective, you become unique, you become mysterious if you have habits that serve you. And being mysterious, let me make a point here, is not telling people everything about you. You'll have to learn the art of keeping quiet, the art of keeping things to yourself. Let me make a note. I'll make a video about this because I also need this as well, So yeah, you'll need to become quiet about everything you do. You have to speak to nobody about your stuff. That's how you become mysterious. You'll have to look after your values, your time, and your habits. With them, you become mysterious. Be elusive. Don't say everything. Just do it and keep quiet. Keep walking. Let them bark. Number 3, in becoming a value creator, you'll have to synthesize material you like, add your experience to the table, put a label on it, sell the solution to your problem. This is the easiest map you can follow in today's age. It has to do with posting content and solving your own problems of any nature. If you can make a product in the evergreen markets, health, wealth, and love, you've won. You will have to study some points on how can you properly make this attractive for other people because you'll have to learn marketing and make it sellable, that is, polish it. But if you make it properly, it will work in your favor. Synthesizing material you like is like taking books and reading from those, writing down quotes, and then mixing them up with your own experience. And that's very nice. You can make content from that. You add your own experience, you put a new label on it. That is, you give it a new name, you make a thumbnail, and you upload it out there. And that's how you become a value creator. You create value for other people. But in order to achieve these points of being a value creator, you will have to learn. You'll have to love learning. You'll have to understand the world in new ways, more creative, better ways. With this, you will have to change your values, your identity. You will have to take on the lenses of somebody that's thirsty for knowledge. And you will synthesize that material. You have GPT, you have Claude, and you can merge your experience with those, and something nice can come out of it. You can turn that into content. You can speak on bullet points. You can just simply press record, and after that, see what's up. You're gonna figure out after that. You'll figure out the way the more you walk the way. Nothing will be perfect. Nothing will be ready for you. It will just be step by step. And so you will have to take it step by step. Don't expect perfection. Expect cringiness. Start from there. That's your starting point. The data shows it. Everybody who started was very cringe at first. You might be as well. I don't know. You might never know if you haven't done it. Just do it. It's better to be heard and seen than to be a nobody. And after posting content with your experiences on the best synthesized material you have or you came across, you then sell the solution to a problem you solved in your life, like writing a book, making a course, and selling that solution to somebody who's a few steps behind you, which really works. And there will be people behind you. Most of the people are beginner level on any field. There are just a very few in the advanced stages. So take this statistic and use it. Number 4 in becoming a value creator, understanding leverage. At this point, we have helping with 2 hands versus copying data and bits. If you have 2 hands, you can only help this much. But if you can copy paste something, you can basically multiply yourself. And this is so powerful. You can multiply your knowledge, which can help somebody more than you can help them with 2 hands. If you teach somebody how to fish, you will feed them for that day. But if you record a video or a course on how to fish properly from A to Z, you take them in the course of how to fish properly, then you can feed them for a lifetime. Not just them, but the whole village. Not just the village, but the whole world. So the power of copying data and copying bits, I think, is undervalued. You have so much leverage by using the copy-paste function. The knowledge is free. You have the AI, you have the chatbots. That's your leverage in today's world. That's your secret to wealth. That's your secret to a better life. Knowledge, because when you apply it, it becomes power. People have knowledge in their pockets all the time, but they never apply it. They never ask a question that's gonna ask them in turn a different question. To start a chain of thoughts, a chain that's gonna change them for how can they become a better version. They can't. They'll never do it. They'd rather ask ChatGPT for jokes than to know how the universe works, the laws of the universe, how to become a better marketer, a better copywriter, and so on. But this is the world we live in, where you want to be different. You don't want to be like that. You want to change something at yourself. Find it, identify it, and just use that. And I'm sure you've had problems you've overcame. Use those problems, create products, and sell them, market them properly, write better copy, take better photos. And by the way, product photos can be also adjusted with GPT or some other better AI engines. So remember, you can only help this much with 2 hands, but you can help so many people by using copy-paste, by using your knowledge, your word, your experience, who you are, specifically who you are. And that's very powerful. Not many people do it. Start doing it. It's worth it. And we reached the end of this video. And I have a question here. Which of them are the most important and why? Can you become a value creator without having a good attitude toward others? I doubt. Because when you create, you'll have to keep others in mind, not just your own interests, like I used to do. Yep, that's something I learned from. Again, I'm a student. I'll never be a master. I'm still learning. We all are. How to say no, being detached emotionally, good foundation, saying no directly with no reason. Remember, good foundation will allow you to be this. Saying no because you feel like it, planning in advance, if this then that, to see what they have in mind, what they can come up with. Can even say, I don't know here at this point. And lastly, become a value creator, posting content about what you do, what you like, and what you are. Which of them are the most important and why? I think all of them are. Especially, I think it's your foundation, being okay with saying no? Which of them are the most important and why? I think is your attitude towards others, self-reliant, treating people with respect and understanding, take on their perspective, point of view, and don't judge or instruct anyone. Because you can be a value creator. You can help other people like that. But, copying data bits is different than helping them with two hands, being in person. So saying no, yeah, can be done online. When somebody DMs you and you don't know them, you can say no to them, or in person, still saying no to other people. So yeah, which of them are the most important and why? Please leave them in the comments. If this video helped, drop a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and bye.